What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? My hair's actually finished, but anyway, I'm recording my podcast at the same time as doing this live as well, so this could be officially the first episode. Big up everyone joining the live today. Appreciate you all. Hope everyone's good. Hope you all had having a decent weekend. Who went out yesterday? The pubs were open, the bars were open. Did you go out? I know. Big up yourself as well, man. Big up everyone that's joining in. Big up Val. Big up Flashco Leon. Big up E-Rush. Big up, is it I-Wish from Swansea? Big up Mookads, Arms 100, Max Williams. Big up everyone, man. Big up everyone. I'm waiting for Vix to join us. He's meant to join at 9 o'clock, so there's still a few minutes to go before then. But big up everyone, man. Our barber's open now. I tried to cut my hair myself the other day. You see I messed it up. Look at that. I even still got patches there. Look at that patch there. But right now I've realised my hair's gone. Because when I cut it low, look at that. Even when I cut it low, there's patches. It's mad. I think it's time to go Turkey. Get a hair implant. What are you mind saying? Big up Nycretia. Big up Nycretia. Big up Nails. Ultimate Woman. You was laughing at me, Ultimate Woman. Big up everyone, man. So what's everyone been doing? Before Vix gets here, ask some questions. Let me know what you guys been up to. It's the man from the shampoo advert again. This man likes taking the piss out of me still. Someone messaged Vix telling that people out here waiting for him. What are you saying, fool? You gonna sponsor my trip to Turkey, yeah? Saying nothing. Big up Swabs. My guy there still. He's one guy that's come through for me a couple of times. Was it the season before? When we were struggling with the football team, and he helped man out still. So I always show support to people who support me when times are a bit harder, man. Advice for the youngers that want to get into rapping. You know what? I'm going to let Vix talk about that advice for youngers who want to get into rapping, because everyone wants to be a rapper. Everyone wants to be a footballer. Everyone wants to be a singer. But who wants to be the manager? Who wants to be the producer? Who wants to be the engineer? There's so much other ways to get in there, you know. Bobby, Afro, they're coming. They're all in my car, you know. All day today. Today was my day off from Bob's Tabber. But so much deliveries came through, so you know what, let me just do it. I messed up my trim, man. Still with a new trim. I fucked it up. But yeah, someone messaged Vic saying we're waiting, man. We're waiting on him. Someone forwarded to him. If you want to be a rapper, don't cap in your rap. We say that, but I'll tell you what, 90% of the rappers are capping as well. You hear rappers talk about Lamborghini. Ain't no one got no Lamborghini, man. Get out of here, man. What's Timmy and Diamond on Instagram? They're on Instagram. You have to look for them. They're on Instagram. I follow them. They follow me, but I couldn't tell you the exact names right now. I have to go and look for it. Yeah, go and donate to the stadium fund. R.I.P. Morrison, man. R.I.P. Steve Morrison. R.I.P. Morrison, man. It's a sad case there. Bob, is it cultural appropriation if a white person made Afro beats? Not at all, because they're making beats, right, no? Do your thing, man. Loic, do your thing, man. If you're going to make Afro beats, do your thing, man. Because why not? If you're going to make beats, no? Let me see if Vix is here yet. If anyone sees him pop up, let me know. My sound is mess, so you guys can hear me now. I start cutting my. I know I'm not cutting my hair no more, man. Can you guys hear me now? Yeah, I had my hand on the speaker still. I had my hand on the speaker. I know I don't learn. But next time. Can you hear me now? Yeah, am I all good? You guys are proper delayed, you know. Yeah, let me try and call. Oh, I can't even call him because I'm recording for the podcast at the same time. Oh, hang on. Alright, what I'm gonna have to do? I'm gonna cancel this. 1 second, people. 1 second. Oh, what the hell have I done? Yeah, he's still not here. 1 minute, people. Bear with me. Oh, he's here now. He's here now. I'm just about to give him a buzz just there as well, but he's here now. Should be.
Yeah,
Yo, what's going on, bro?
hold on, my camera's looking a bit dark. Hold on. That's better.
Oh,
You're
hang
telling
on,
me?
bear with me. I'm just trying to record this at the same time for the podcast, but let's see if it works. Oh, here we go. First and foremost, as I always start, good evening. Hope you're well. You and family good?
Yeah, man, everything's good, my bro. What are you saying? You cool?
Yeah, man. Just here, man. Just finished doing my deliveries. I thought a lot of people been waiting for this one here, so I thought let's reach out because I'm trying to think. Back in 2007 was the first time I met you.
Yeah.
Was in HMP Rye Hill.
Yeah.
You was a bit. What I would say, you was a bit of a. What's the word can I use? A bit of a menace. A little bit.
Yeah, you know, old demons.
So let's start from before that anyway. So, what country from?
Cameroon.
Cameroon. Okay. So your
Yeah.
French is very fluent.
Yeah, somewhat. I'm better at listening than talking. Because obviously I've lost the
Same.
tongue over the years. Yeah.
Yeah, same here. My accent's poor. I'm Congolese, but my French is poor. So when did you first come to Britain?
97,
97.
97, yeah.
And you moved straight to the Broccoli area, or did you go start
Yeah,
elsewhere?
so basically, so I had left Cameroon, I come here. So I moved to my aunt. My aunt lived in Broccoli in Turnham. So that's where I moved. My mum later on moved. But when my mum moved to Peckham. So I was in between Peckham and Broccoli.
So what school did you go to?
St. Joseph's Academy.
The green one, green Blazers.
Yeah, that was us.
We had quite a few people from Peckham that went there. I'm trying to remember my boy Charles, Live, Younger Tamer.
Yeah.
There's quite a few. Did you know these guys?
Yeah,
you know, Live and everyone.
Yeah, there was a lot of Peckhams in my school. Yeah, definitely. Like a lot.
How was it like them being there and traditionally the whole rivalry? Would they seem to be cool?
You know what? Everyone was cool. Everyone was. I don't know. Everyone was in my school. Everyone was cool. I think when there was fallout in school, that's when there's a risk of I'm gonna call my lot and you're gonna call your lot. But normally, how man used to have it is if man run into the youths from school on a weekend on the outside one, it's always a loud man, and it was vice versa. It's always that's not break from school, like, and then sit at the same as well. But it was awkward sometimes because you have fallouts of friends of friends, and you know, it was a hectic time.
So I'm saying 97, you must have been at 11, 12 when you come to the UK, you went to school. So when was the turning point? Because normally when we come from Africa, we're told, okay, you come to England, behave yourself, do well in school. When was the turning point when, I guess, the roads caught up with you in terms of, oh, this looks exciting?
I think 2001. Yeah, by 2000, I was already, when the millennium hit, yeah, it was kind of on a cracker from there.
And how was that? Was it like a yo, you're with us now, or you're seeing them, you start hanging around, or did someone just say, okay, this is your road name, you're with us?
You know what it is, yeah? Everyone was just outside. It was one of them ones. I think everyone was outside. Everyone was coming from poverty. So it was like, a man was just outside. I don't think I was like, some people will say, oh, he's like a broccoli or like a whatever, not all these different labels. But I was just a man that I was just outside. And obviously, if you're from the bits, obviously we stand together the exact same way. But generally, I think even from then when I was young, I was able to move in other areas and still be able to because remember, I was raised in Africa, so the whole B thing over here, it don't penetrate me like it might penetrate English. Because my thing is, I come from it's really going off where the country I just come from. This is just like a bit of fun, basically, a bit of man of young, a bit of fun, rare. That's what it was really. But yeah, so it was more broccoli. That I was more like based in broccoli, and like I said, back and forth. But yeah, mainly broccoli.
Was there sort of any like arrest first when you first arrested, and your parents were like, oh, what's going on here?
Yeah, I think, you know what? I think because I was living with my auntie before, because my mom moved to the country when I was about 16. So by then I was already on what I was on. So in them early stages, it was more like I don't know, it was my auntie. She didn't know how to take it. You know, it starts with the little stuff, get caught weed. It was a class C drug them times. Fighting, just the regular stuff. So it just looked like normal teenage, whatever. I don't think she clocked that I was really thing. I think till I was about 14. When I was 14, when my dad died when I was 14, about to turn 15. And that, I went left then. That was just it. After that, it was just like, okay, well, this is, I'm gonna die behind this, live and die behind this to make it out, kind of thing.
Because it's interesting you said that. Condolences to you. Of course, it's been quite a long time. But we always hear about the lack of male role models for young men in our society. Do you believe that had an impact on how you went then?
It's hard to say, bro. Like, cause my nan is like an anchor, innit? I never really grew up missing my parents. Like, it's kind of, I don't know, it's hard to explain. I didn't grow up missing my parents, but my nan made me feel so empowered. And then obviously I had an older sister. So I never really was the kid that, where's my dad? I didn't really, but I think when I got to an age, because my mom was living in Germany, so before she moved over here, I was thinking, you know what, let me try and locate my dad. Let me try and make an attempt to locate him and pattern up. Obviously I knew how to get hold of him. But then when I decided to make that step, he died. So it kind of it stung a bit more like, like maybe, but obviously I'm a kid in it, so really the responsibility is his, but it kind of made me feel like, rah. And then so what I had to do was learn about him through like other people. Like, I'll run into people, oh, you're just like your dad, So now I'm like, before I would ignore it, now I'm like, okay, so what was he like then? What was he? So I started, and when I learned about him, I felt powerful, empowered, knowing what he was, regardless if he was my life or not. I felt powerful. That's the bloodline I come from. Okay, this makes sense and that makes sense, and to the point where I named my son after my dad, even though my dad was never in my life.
Yeah.
So it's one of those ones.
So let's go back a little bit then. So you're 11, you just come to the UK. What was the dream and ambition? What did you think? A lot of kids, I want to be a footballer. I want to be. What were your hopes?
Bro, I'll be rude to you. Before I come to the country, I just wanted to run my own farm. Like, because I grew up on a farm with my nan. So it's like, as a boy, it was always, I'm going to have my own land and plant my own crops and have my own animals. So when I come here, it was kind of a scramble because I didn't know I was coming here. It wasn't like some trip I look forward to. It was a straight, someone turns up, next day you're in England type thing. I didn't even get to say bye to my friends or nothing. So I was missing home. I was here, but I was thinking, nah, I just want to be back home. Like, it's a strange land to me. I don't get me type thing. So yeah, I think from then I wanted to always be like in entertainment. Because back home I used to play like drums with the choir, instrument. I was one of those kids. And I always I think entertainment. I think at the time hip hop was always like, always like a thing. I didn't know if I had any talent or if I had any. I just knew I liked entertainment. And I'm comfortable being, standing in front of people, even as a kid. So I always knew somehow, some way, I'm gonna go in the entertainment industry, but I just didn't know how.
So moving forward again, so you've left school. How were your grades GCSE wise?
Oh yeah, like straight A student. I was one of the kids that, you know, I would disrupt the class for everyone else, but go home and do my homework. So when I got to year 11, because my school was really like, anyone from the era know, it was just all gang members. There was just no, so the school, the head teacher, you know, at the time, Mr. Stickins, he said to me, look, because you've got such good grades, hey, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna exclude you from school, but I'm gonna allow you to come back and do your exams. I don't want you on the school premises no more. Like, just don't, but you can come and do your exams, which is good, because I still, you know, obviously I'm outside, but I went back and done the exam. I still left like 10 GCSEs, so yeah.
So did you go to college?
Lewisham College.
And what did you apply to do?
I think I didn't even know what I wanted to do in college, but by the time the college time came, it was like I was already like on what I was on. So I was trying to enroll in college just to sharp, to keep like my aunt, so my mom was here at the time, so to, you know, keep mom cool. You know, African homes, education is very important. So it was just to keep that image going whilst I'm still doing what I was doing. So I don't know. I think I was doing a modern apprenticeship in retail. Like, can you imagine? And like a GMVQ in business. So the modern apprenticeship makes sense to me because, you know, it just got introduced. I think where Tony Blair introduced it, you could work and study at the same time. So like I had a work placement, like the phone shop called The Link. They had one illusion, you know, at the center. So I was doing that there. So that way their college is only 3 days a week, and the other days I can just do the other things that you know I'm into.
So you're kind of still keeping up with Badness and Road, but you now got a part-time job. You're studying. What then led to you going into prison?
Obviously moves, innit? Obviously that's the era, innit? I sort of grew up around like the bank robbers, innit? So that was like the thing that was most appealing to me at the time, government moves, because the idea was their premises are insured. So really, if you go in there, no violence, just intimidation and get the bits, it made more sense to me. Because obviously it's just something I could do. So basically, you know, banks, post offices, building society, so that type of thing. So I come up through that. So so naturally jewelers was obviously, you know, in the range. So yeah, I went shop for jewelers in Bournemouth, for Rolex shop in Bournemouth. That's what I got in for.
They went all the way to Bournemouth?
Yeah, because that was, you know, it's insane, but at the time, you know, it was really works, isn't it? So you would drive out and go and find it and scope it and do all the bits and pieces, you know what I'm saying to you? So it was a different time. So yeah, all the way in Bournemouth still.
Funnily enough, you said justify it, because obviously I was in for similar stuff, and I used to justify it. Like, you know what, we're robbing security vans, they're insured, and it's not really hurting anyone. We're really just robbing the government who rob us. That's how I used to justify it as well.
Yeah, that's how. Sorry, I was stealing from the government. It wasn't really like, obviously I didn't understand trauma and all that type of stuff, because I didn't even, that's a concept I didn't even understand. So I'm not even checking that element. My thing is, if the violence is down, it's not really your money, it's the government. You know, they got to figure it out. But yeah, that's how I used to think at the time.
So you got caught in Bournemouth. How did you feel when they said remanded? You going to prison? How did it make you feel? I talked about how I cried.
I went into Ashfield, Bristol. That was because I was still 17, so I wasn't even old enough for YOI. So, but you know what's so mad? When I walked in the wing, I swear to God, I never forget it. I remember walking in my cell and they shut the door, and I was like, finally, I'm here. It's like I always knew, like, the way I was living, not in a way, it's gonna sound dumb, but it was almost like, okay, let me see what this is about then. Because as far as I was concerned, I was willing to face the world and whatever the world had to throw at me. So prison was just like another thing. It was like, okay, well, I'm here now. Okay, cool, it kind of didn't even penetrate like, yo, you lost your freedom, you're in prison. my head wasn't there. It was more about, okay, time to lock down the wing. You know, like I wasn't really thinking, I didn't understand emotions. Like, I was numb, like my emotions were numb, so I didn't understand that. So it was more like, okay, cool, like, you know, where you're a bit anxious, it's your first time in jail, you're a bit nervous as well. So, you know, the mask goes straight on, like, and them times I was very prideful. So it was like, I was never gonna let it be one of them friends, or your brethren is getting pressure, though, because they're bare them types. So it was like, no, I'm not gonna make none of my people look bad. I'm not gonna make them from look bad. So, like, you know, so I bypassed the whole mental stage of it. It's quite weird when I look back at it. because that shows how traumatized I actually was. So actually, not even think about it.
I would say, how long did you get?
So for the jewelers, they gave me, so this is my first time, they gave me 8 years for that jewelers. But it was under the old law. So 8 years for the jewelers, so that was under the old law. So it's 2/3, so we'd have to do what, just under 6 years. That's what it was originally. And obviously down the line, I got added charge, which made it 18 years and the rest of it.
Yeah. So what jail did you go to?
I went to, so when I got sentenced in Bournemouth.
Yeah.
I got sentenced in Bournemouth. Hold on, let's get some water.
No worries.
I got sentenced in Bournemouth. So I went Dorchester. And then from Dorchester, I went Aylesbury and 16 other places. So Portland.
So when you was like in Dorchester, because I remember one time they stitched me up from Belmarsh and sent us to Camp Hill on the Isle of Wight. So I just think, fucking hell, I can't bother with visits. When you was in Dorchester, was it harder for your people to come and see you? Did you even want visits? Because I know the further I went, I like forget visits, man.
Yeah, now where was Dorset as well? Obviously they're racist up there, so it's like, I don't know. So I weren't really getting visits, but you know, Dorchester's quite small or local. They only got free landings basically. So literally, I was trying to sort of get out of there because when I got sentenced, I'm in the local paper, big blow up, rare whatnot. They were a bit racist, a bit of a stickage. I didn't get no visits in there still, but I was still having again. Leaving young offenders, now I'm in Dorchester. Living juvenile, now I'm in Dorchester as a young offender. Then I'm still having to face the racism was more like my energy was a lot more confrontational. So any kind of thing I thought was problematic. So in Dorchester for me was the racism with the officers and the prisoners. So it was straight, you know, again, it was bypassing all mental processes. It's like, okay, let me focus and fight this because it will stop me from sort of taking in that, you're a kid and you've just been bad enough. You know, when I look back at it, that's how it comes across to me.
So you said you went to Aylesbury, because is Aylesbury then you met a lot of other Londoners and people from your area and so on?
Yeah, Aylesbury was the jungle. Like, Aylesbury was a jungle for like, because police had done a sweep through that period. So Aylesbury was a jungle for all the gang members. So north, south, east, but everywhere. All at that under 21 gang members between 18 and 21. So Aylesbury was like a dumping ground because all of us had got murdered. So everyone from everywhere was there. So it was just like a zoo. Like literally, like at the time, it was a real experience. It was a real experience for me. I was like, okay, this is, yeah. So that was, so that's what Aylesbury was. But yeah.
So by the time I met you, then I was in Rye Hill in 2007. 2008. I was in 2008. By the time I got to Rye Hill in 2008, how long have you been in jail at that point?
5 years.
5 years. And when I saw you, you was obviously hench and a man of the gym. Was you always sort of on road man of the gym, or because everyone goes to jail and gets hench? Was that similar with you?
You know what? When I was on road, I was like fake hench. You know that way you're just like the big one out of your brethren. So man thinks you're hench when you're not hench. But when I went to jail, I think I couldn't do nothing to silence the noises in my head other than training. Like, it wasn't, nothing else worked. So the gym became like that addiction. It's like, so by the time I ran into 08, I'd gone through the dispersal already. I'd come through the dispersal system. So I'd gone from juvenile, young offender, turn 19, get starred up, thrown in the adult system, Cat A, do the Cat A round. So when I'm linking you, I'm just trying to come out of the maximum security stage where they're like, okay, we'll put you in a B Cat, and hopefully, and at that point, you know, are you going to conduct it? Are you going to behave yourself? So I was at that stage when I met you, which is why, so the gym was a big thing to kind of stop me from just, you know, skitzing out or whatever.
And I remember also in Rye Hill, you used to do some rapping. Did you start rapping then from being in prison, or was it something you started on the outside?
No, I started on the outside still. I started on the outside, and when Channel U came out, I remember I was 16. And yeah, my brethren had a camera. I just said, yeah, shoot a video or whatever now. And we edited it and got it out. So, but on the block, like in the hood, like Broccoli, everyone, not even Broccoli, Lucian, like the local talent shows when we was younger, I was always coming through like I'm firing. But them times I never had no ambition of being a rapper. It was just something I could do type thing. So, you know, open mics here. So I wasn't really doing that. Music was something I already did. There was no scene, there was no industry, it was like, what, you're rapping? That's a joke thing. Like, you trying to be a rapper or something. So that's what it was.
You'll find this strange, but I remember one of your bars. I don't know if you still remember it. It was something about something key a day, something my DNA. Do you remember that bar?
Gang banging is in my DNA. Go hard, try and move a kid. Go hard, try and move a kid a day. Yeah, that's it.
I remember that bar. I don't know why till now I remember that bar from then. But obviously we was also in Right Hill. That's where I met African Child as well. Had you met him at Right Hill?
Yeah, I remember I've seen. I don't remember talking to him in Right Hill because I was in Edwards. I was in Edwards, and Edwards there weren't a lot of people there. I remember he being in the job. I don't remember coming across him. We came across way down the line in another job.
Do you think he's just misunderstood? I got a lot of time for AC. I got a lot of time for him, and I think sometimes he's misunderstood. Sometimes he goes about things the wrong way, but he's generally, for me personally, I think he's a nice guy.
No, you see, like, obviously, look, bro, like, as a person that's just in a different space in my life, I understand what prison did to us mentally as young men. It's a deep thing, and very few people would you know, accept it. For me, it's like, that was a lot on the brain, that was a lot on the mind, so there's due to be ramifications for that. So sometimes, of course, he's misunderstood, and sometimes, yes, of course, his rage might be misplaced, but I feel like he's still like trying to shake off that getting your door closed and open. We're all still trying to shake it off in our own ways, and sometimes he's come out a different way, mine comes out a different way, because I'm still every day trying to shake that feeling of get behind your door. And you know, standing behind my door waiting for someone to open for me to get out. So it's a psychological thing. So yeah, man.
Shout out AC and shout out AC.
Yeah,
so what year was you released?
So 08. So we get into 09. So I get in a decap situation. You know, I get in a decap situation, but after immigration matters, so obviously I couldn't even really go home. So I get out on like the farm in like a hostel. I had one of them high risk hostel places, like, okay, cool, you can go there and da. And obviously when I went there, then I got nicked for something. So I get that 09 period. So come out, I think about 6 months, I was in this in and out, I was in this place. So I would come out on the road every so often. But being that I'd just been taking up the roads as young as I've been taking up the roads, and now like I'm not even free, they got me on this halfway step thing. So it's like, again, my throat, like just, I was broken, my mind was broken basically at that period. Because I was just, it was wild, everything was wild, and everything was 0 to 10. So that didn't even last long. So 6 months later, I was like, yeah, boom, there was another 2 charges, which was just like, okay, cool, well, we're gonna give him life now and just forget about him basically.
And how long did you do afterwards?
So I went back 09, didn't come out to 015.
015. So you come out the same year as me?
Yeah.
So when I came out in February, when did you come out?
I came out 015 July. So it's actually my 5-year anniversary coming up.
Yeah, I just celebrated my 5 year. My missus actually threw me a party. Imagine that. But
yeah.
So how difficult was it? Because I think people take for granted that in regards to what we do now. But how difficult is it that being in jail for most of your 20s, you come out and then you've almost got nothing. You have to sort of rebuild. I talk about how tough it was. How did you find that transition? How tempting was it for you to go back?
Yeah, the temptation is there. It's there now. It's there. You know, it's a part of us. I think when you have years of learned behavior, it doesn't leave. I still fantasize a bit now about doing certain things, even though I know I'm not going to do it. But then when I first came out, it was very difficult because it was like it's like a new world. I don't know how to explain it. The world was new. There was the internet, there was social media, there was all this other new stuff. And you know, me being a parent, I'm trying to still, I don't know, catch up to my own goals myself. And trying to not go back to old ways, but it was like one of the most difficult things I've had to do, because I think naturally we are just, we're naturally just how we are. And And yeah, I never anticipated that difficult. But luckily, I don't know, everything career-wise just sort of hit, like it happened. It just, everything I wanted to do just started happening. You know, I was putting it in place, it's happening. And yeah, the rest was sort of history, so to speak.
So you've come out, and like I said, we all find that struggle when you come out. So did you have a lot of family support, like the balance? Because like you come out, you need sort of someone to say, because you can go either two ways. You look at the man, them like, wow, them man are doing that. Or then someone is like, you know what, I'm going to humble myself. I thought I had to humble myself. Did you feel that, you know what?
You know what? You know what's so mad? Even though I came out and saw what everyone was doing, I kind of didn't feel like, it sounds crazy, I kind of didn't feel like I was behind in any way. For me, it was more like I just got to put my plans in motion and get stepping, because I wasn't really even watching no one what anybody was doing. I'm blessed to have I have an amazing family unit. I got a big family. I'm my mom's oldest son, so it's like, and all my uncles are dead. So like, I'm responsible for all my nieces, nephews, cousins. So it was like, and for me, I was happy to just come out and step in that role. My mom had already told me, look, when you come out, you're a man now, so it's time for you to leave the family. You get what I'm saying to you? So it was like, so I was more proud about that, and irrespective of what anyone else was doing, it's like my team, again, they just felt completely separate. Like, yo, I'm doing a whole different thing. I knew from the jump, but it was very difficult, more dealing with people's opinions, or no, not just people's different ways to try and derail you. That was more difficult for me, not reacting to people. You know, that was more difficult for me to do.
I think that's the hardest point, when you look, when you hear what people are trying to say, and you say, you know what, you don't live my life, so you can't really. You try to not entertain it, but it's hard. It's hard. You get trolls and that all the time as well, so it's very difficult. So when you come out now, was music another ambition? Say, no, I'm gonna try to go back in this music thing. I want to take it seriously this time.
Yeah, now music was in my head, so it's like I had this whole plan. So I wanted to have, obviously my mates wanted to have a homecoming party. So we had said, okay, cool. So we boxed up this club in Crawley. So I booked, you know, Tim Westwood, booked Pepsi Cola and Angel, a bunch of different people. Because my thing was, if I want to announce my return to the industry, I don't want it to be like I'm coming with my hand out. I'd rather put money on the table, put money in people's pockets. Like, let me meet you on a business one. Like, let me put something together. So we did that, jingles and everything. So it was really exciting, but the thing kind of went off too much. So leading into me being released, like all these people are coming down. Charlie Scott was a DJ on the night as well. So it's like all these people are coming down. The police kind of felt like, nah, my man, I don't know. They felt like, I don't know, they painted it with a mad security team, so I didn't even get out. So this rave had been set up. So on the day of the rave, it's like, I'm supposed to be out of jail. I'm not out of jail because they're refusing to release me. Because they're saying basically you can't go home. He has to go in the hospital. And we ain't got a hospital for him. You know how it goes already. So it's like, but I was like, oh damn, I've missed my chance to introduce myself you get what I'm saying to you? Like we spent at least nearly 15 grand putting all of that together. So it's like, I felt like it was a missed opportunity. But you know what? I let the the events still go on. Tried to make some money back on my money back on the door on the bar. But it was like a missed opportunity. So when I did get to actually come out, I had already missed that opportunity. So I had to come up with another plan. Like, fuck, how do I introduce myself without looking like I'm just another rapper on my hand out? You get what I'm saying? Because really, like, I'm an OG. So like, how you come to the table, you bring the chicken to the table. You get what I'm saying? That's how you don't eat first before you have the conversation. So yeah, it was a bit. That's how the plan went. But then I was able to sort of get up and running again.
So you've been releasing music now. How many albums would you say you've got out there? Have you put an album together yet, or just a few different projects?
You know what? I had a few mixtapes I'd put out, but I think the difficult thing was, bro, like, if I'm being real, it's like I knew everybody. Like, I know when I came out, by the time I come out, I already know everybody because I was there before, whatever not. So a part of me anticipated that perhaps people being aware of my skill level and being a solid individual, the doors will just be opened a lot seamlessly. But I got met with resistance, and it proper fried my brain. Like, raw, like there's some resistance there. Like, I'm not. So that in itself, that was like a difficult thing. But so what I did then was, when I realized that I'm being met with resistance, and I realized a lot of other people are saying they're being met with resistance, I thought, well, I've got like as far as I'm concerned, this is my shit in the sense of music. Like I've been, so I'm not gonna let no resistance block me. So I then went back to the drawing board. I said, let me figure out a way to get behind the wall, make my relationships, then come back round and then walk through. So that's literally what I did. I just sort of stepped back. I said, okay, music, they're gonna start. Okay, cool, well, right? Or you know, like you're putting videos up, it's not getting the views, and I know it's not my ability. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I ain't got the relationship. So I just sort of stepped back, done other things, worked the relationships, and then came back round, and then I was able to be allowed my right of passage, basically.
Yeah, so on that quickly, so I was just touching that. Like, I do hear a lot of people saying that, yeah, there's a lot of blockage in music. Like, there's a hierarchy or sort of gatekeepers who say, you know what, yeah, let that video in. I don't let that video in. Someone might say, no, I'm not gonna put your video up because it's got a lot of profanity. But yet, you will see some of the videos on the platform got profanity. So, is that the sort of resistance you were saying you was meeting?
Nah, you know what? To be honest, bro, I'll be real. Like a lot of the times, I caused some of the problems myself just because I didn't know how to communicate. Because I'm just a kid, you know, I'm a youth of the pavement, so you know, we understand only a certain type of language. We don't. So I didn't. It took me a while to understand that this is a different realm. Perhaps these individuals don't know you like that, so don't take everything personal. Because I was the guy that would phone up the channel and threaten someone like, what is man? You know, just bad business and bad. There's no integrity when you move like that. So I was, you know, I didn't understand that, like I was taking everything personal. So that probably rubbed some people up the wrong way, where it seemed like dealing with it is just a headache. Like, oh, he's gonna go off on one. I was able to identify that, work my way back, and sort of repair those relationships, and say, you know what, like I know I've in the past, but really I didn't understand the game type thing.
Yeah.
And luckily they were, not even luckily, naturally, as men, I was able to, speak to a lot of people, rebuild some bridges and come back. But I'll be honest, I was the problem. But to answer your question, I think a lot of people are the problem like me, but they just don't know they are yet, because I feel like it's a it's a rite of passage, bro. So it's like there's no substitute for hard work in it. And because you're coming from the streets, your name might have the work on it, but that's a different work. It's not the music scene work. So you can't expect the reception based on your name because of the work you did in the roads. It's not the same thing. That's like a plumber trying to get a carpenter to rate them a carpentry. It's not gonna work. So I think for a lot of people, they just haven't realized that there is a rite of passage. There is no substitute for hard work. And once you do the work, nobody can actually, your rite of passage can't be denied. It's just impossible for someone to, the scoreboard's there. Everyone can see the score. So just chalk up the board and naturally, you go through.
So, interesting enough, at the beginning, you said that you've always been kind of musical because you said back home, you used to play in the drum and be in a choir. So I take it you was a Christian at the beginning.
Yeah. So I come from a Christian family. Funny enough, like where I grew up, the transition to Islam was more like, I can't pinpoint, but I remember like, I was at a place when I went to jail where, I believed in God, but I didn't believe in human beings. I just, I've seen so much mad things that I just didn't believe in human beings. And just seeing how the brothers were living, just seeing how the Ummah was set up, they made me believe in them as people. Because I could see the, the transcendence of the deen in their lives. And I was like, it made me believe that people can be good or people can be, it sounds crazy, but, it could get really horrible out here. And I've seen some stuff. So it's like, that was my first, I think, adult or teenage experience to see a group of people that I'm like, okay, they're proper. But again, it was, some would say it's a bit short-sighted because I grew up in prison. But then, which is just how it went. But when I was on road before I went to jail, we was just on nothing but what we was on. So I didn't believe in human beings at all. Like, so it was a whole different, it's like, I might get scratched out. I'm willing to scratch him out. Like, it was that mentality. It was gangs in jail and seeing, human beings or, coming from the world we come from and dealing with each other with so much love and genuine energy. I was like, it kind of took me back. I was just like, oh, like, wow, okay. Like, this is new. And that's how, that's how I sort of, started looking into it and etc. And then I found that, okay, this speaks to me. Like, I like, the rest was the rest.
So you end up winning a BAFTA. Is it a year ago now, a year and a half ago? How did that come about?
So the first year I was out, again, the music thing happened. I saw the brick walls, left it. So the second year, I said, okay, I'm going to go through film, the filming angle. And luckily, I landed the intent too, I landed that. And then, you know, the BBC wanted to do this documentary, but they were looking for ex-offenders. They wanted to make a documentary about the deadliest gun in Britain. But in order to tell the story, they were looking for ex-offenders who have firearm convictions, that are actors that can translate. And really, when the criteria is like that, the list is very short. So naturally, I think an officer in Belmarsh, I said, yo, boom, my man, there's a youth that come to speak in the jail area and whatnot. And another one of my people, I said, yo, the brother that spoke in the jail. So they got in touch with me, had a few conversations. You know, I wanted to know why they want to do it. Why do they care about our world? You know, because, you know, documentaries be telling, you know, lies sometimes. But yeah, long short of it is, we've done it. And I think I've carried on the filming rap, so more filming jobs has come. And yeah, they rang me like, they've been nominated for a BAFTA. And I'm like, what do you mean? Funny enough, it's like, the first one, when it got premiered on BBC One, like, it premiered at 2 million viewers. Like, literally, and that, you know, that was one of the highest ratings they've had for a documentary period, hence why it peaked into the BAFTA nomination. It was like 2 million viewers in the first hour. And they were just like, you know, and everybody was so drawn to it. And it was good because it was mainstream Britain. It wasn't our Britain. It was, you know, middle class, upper class. They got to see it inside. But yeah, they told me they nominated. I didn't believe it. I was like, wow, what? And then it's like, and then they rang me and said the BAFTA want you to come. Like, they want, because obviously I'd been sort of marketed as like the lead role person in it or whatever. So they said, now the BAFTA want you to come to the ceremony. So I went there and it's like, yeah, we won. And I was just on the stage, like standing there, just didn't even know what to say. Like, I'm in a BAFTA stage. I've been out of jail for what, 2 years? Like, after being in jail for 11 years, I'm out on road for 2 years. I'm on the BAFTA stage, and then I'm holding the BAFTA in my hand. So we're holding the BAFTA. So we had like 4 or 5 BAFTAs, because, you know, they don't give you 10, they give a few for you, all of you lot. I'm standing on the stage and I'm seeing Benedict, Covernatch, and Dick saying, oh, well done, it was such a brilliant thing. And all these people from TV, the Jonathan Rosses, oh, well done, that was a great thing. I'm like, nah, man, this can't be life, man. You know, like, this is God, this is not life. This is only God, this is not. And I was shocked, and funny enough, I felt so awkward, not awkward, but I couldn't believe what was going on, to the point where, like, as soon as the ceremony was done, I literally just made them sell my car and I left. I had to literally get home, like, I'm bunning Zoom and say, hold on a minute, what just, like, what the hell just happened there? Like, you get what I'm saying to you? So, like, it was a great moment, but yeah.
And is that sort of sparked you to get more into the whole filming? Because after that, of course, you ended up being in Blue Story.
Yeah, no, naturally, yeah, with that, so that kind of brought me into the attention of the commissioners for TV and agencies and stuff. So they were just like, everybody was locked into the story. Like, okay, we want to know this, like, this, you know. So that kind of helped get me up and running, where the jobs start coming, whether it's adverts or this or that or whatever not. And then obviously Blue Story happened as well, and, you know, luckily when, you know, it done so amazing as well. So it just added to me. So at that point, people were just like, you might as well just stick to acting, forget going back to music. So that, you know, so I was at that place where everything was doing good, and my public speaking business was doing really well. So I was, you know, constantly booked, like, touring different, you know, parts of the country, universities, prisons, and just talking about my life and getting paid for it, bro. It was just like it's like a weird experience, like literally, like how we're talking now, like just in the auditorium, and you know, getting paid for it. So it was like a real eye opener. So the different business lanes started opening up, and yeah, man, I'm just trying to take advantage of all of it.
Yeah, because I mean, similar with me, I go to do talks and I get paid for it via my agent. So he's encouraging me to do a book again. Is that something you consider doing a book?
Yeah, now at the moment I've got a publishing deal on the table, and because I'm doing a feature documentary at the moment on my life, and we want to do it alongside of the publishers, because the numbers just make sense, like, in terms of, like, visually, all the things I've done documentary wise, because I've done a few documentaries, the numbers are always through the roof, I think, for those type of documentaries. So there's the idea that, you know, a book will go alongside it, which is what we're doing at the moment. You know, once the deal was what I want it to be, then we'll dot the I's, cross the T's, and, you know, and get it through, and the lawyers and that, and do it.
So now you sort of turn a bit more into sort of community activism. I mean, we saw you at the Black Lives Matter. Saw you the live you done with Dutch. How do you feel about the whole issue of Black Lives Matter right now? And do you think that now are people forgetting and moving on with their lives already?
You know what, bro? Like, I'm not really sure. I'm having different conversations, you know, off cam about, you know, how help can be given. I think the dangerous thing when everything's on camera, there could be a misconception of effectiveness. So for me, I've made a decision that I think I can help, you know, with the movement without being on camera doing it, if that makes any sense. Because I feel I'll be more effective with ideas and initiatives and stuff like that. But generally, I think it was a great moment. You know, it was a great time, and me naturally, even away from it being a movement, that's the energy I've got anyway. Whether we was on a corner, whether we was on a landing, I will stand up, like, you know, that type of thing. So it was natural for me to stand up and do that. But yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a great time. There's a lot of great conversations being had. And my thing is, there were a lot of people in place whose job, whose life work is to facilitate these type of things. So I'm just willing to sort of let it be in their call. And if I'm needed for anything that is my expertise, then I'll lend my support as well, type thing. You know, because I think there's a lot of confusion and there's a million ideas, a million different people how it should go. And I think really the people that it's their job to do that, they should just be left to get on their job, and we should just help where we can, type thing. So that's where I am.
So we're coming to sort of the end of this now. If you can give yourself, when you was 14 or 15, advice, and this directly goes to the 14 and 15-year-olds now who will be watching this, what advice should you give yourself back then?
I'll tell them to embrace the pain, man. Like, I'll tell them to embrace the pain. Whatever you're feeling right now, whatever you're going through, it's crazy. Like, I look back on my life, and as tragic as things have been, it's an amazing, it was all the skills I needed to do the things I'm doing today. I wouldn't go back in my life and change anything that I've been through. I would tell a young person to, like, embrace the pain, because the lessons are hidden within it. You know, the lessons are hidden within it, and the empowerment you gain from that is something that's going to sustain you for the rest of your life. Like, you know, right now I'm in a place where I understand my pain. Like, I love my pain. Like, I look back with a smile because I took the lesson out of it. You know, so that's what I would say. You know, embrace the pain, and mainly, first and foremost, and most importantly, like, don't ever give up on yourself. It doesn't matter how dark the situation looks. It doesn't matter what's going on. Don't ever give up on yourself, because you see what it is. God is the best of plans, isn't it? So He could change your life. Your life could change like this, you know. So it's like always try and find your purpose, even if you got to go through dark times to find it. Always try and find your purpose. Never, like, I don't care if there's thunder, the roof is falling. You got to think, I mustn't get out of this yard. The moment you give up, it's over. You know, the moment you give up, it's over. So yeah, don't ever give up on yourself. Never, ever. I don't care what the situation. I got friends doing 100 years right now that haven't given up on themselves. You get what I'm saying to you? So that's what I would say. Don't give up on yourself and embrace your faith, because it will be the thing that heals you and gets you life.
So I'm going to end it with this one quickly then. What would you rather win, an Oscar or a Grammy?
You know what, bro? It's the same thing, man. Yeah. You know why it's for me the same thing? Because I've gotten into a space where I realized that the best accolade is that self-acknowledgement. You know, I think for me, you saying to me, Vic, I think you killed that role. That for me, it's more important than some bunch of people that don't know me sitting in a panel saying to me, you know what I'm saying? Because my trophy is the fact that I've still got my life, I've still got my freedom. That will always be, it's kind of crazy. So it's like, my mom always says to me, you don't take in things. You don't take things in when you do them. And I say, Mom, how can I? Because my freedom is, like, how I'm talking to you now, my kids are next door. That's everything. Nothing will beat that. But at the same time, I want a good, acknowledgement. It's good to get, hopefully, but Oscar or Grammy, yeah, I'll take either one of them. You know, add it to the BAFTA and, get the trilogy guy.
I hear that. I think Yardi asked, White Yardi just asked if he was in Aylesbury. Yes, Yardi, he was in Aylesbury. We covered that earlier on. I guess you joined in late, Yardi. Should have been here on time. But Vic, my guy, We appreciate everything you do, and keep up the positivity, man. We need more people like you within the community who are showing the way. And like, thank you and bless you and your family, bro.
Yeah, no, you should, but like, vice versa. Keep doing what you're doing. You know, every time you dial in, you know what I'm saying? Like, because like right now, I'm not, I wouldn't even be doing this. I'm like, because I got, you know, new music coming out on Sunday. But when you put the call in, come on, like, you know, we're all in this together. That's how I see it. So that's how we got to keep.
I appreciate it, man.
You know, so keep doing what you're doing, bro, man. Hats off. Anything you need, or you already know, man, just hit me up. Go to bed.
I appreciate it, man. Good night, man. Good night.
Bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. All right, guys. That was it. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. I think it's gonna cut out very, very soon. Big up everyone that's tuned in. Yeah, so I'm gonna cut the live now. It's gonna be on YouTube. Man said the Vic with the dial-up Wi-Fi. I Vic don't have that. Yardi, go away, man. Anyway, my people, good night. Yardi, you're next. You know, I need you here. I have to remind people used to have plaits back in the day. You know what, Yardi used to have the long cane rule like Ludacris. Yeah, that's for another day. But anyway, my people, good night. Good night.